Sole Deo Gloria. He who has ears to hear, let him hear. So, whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do all to the glory of God. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 31. This life is not to be valued, but as it yields opportunities to glorify God. We were not sent into the world to live for ourselves, but for God. If we could make ourselves, then we could live for ourselves. If we could be our own first cause, then we might be our own end. But God made us for Himself and sent us into the world for Himself. It is not our duty to glorify God in heaven only, but also here on earth in the midst of difficulties and temptations. No one is sent into the world to be idle or to bring forth fruit to themselves, but God's glory must be our chief work and aim while we were here upon the earth. We must not promote merely our own interests. Every man, besides his general calling, has his own work and course of service where he might glorify and honor God. Jesus said to the Father, I glorified you on earth, having accomplished the work that you gave me to do. John chapter 17, verse 4. In a great house, one has one employment, one another. So God has designed for every man the work he has to do, some in one calling and some in another. But all have their service and work given them for God's glory. Every morning we should revive the sense of this upon our hearts. This day I'm going to live with God. When a Christian leaves home in the morning, he must remember he is at Christ's disposal. He is not to do as he pleases, but to be guided by rule, that is, for God's glory, not only in his duties or immediate conversation with God, but in sports, business, recreation. What is it to do things in the name of Christ, but to do them according to Christ's will and command? In discharge of this work, we must do it all for the glory of God. We can do nothing without Him. If we have anything to do for God, we must do it in His own strength, in every word and every deed. Written by Thomas Manton.